People, I don't know if y'all been following the Foolio murder trial with Alicia Andrews, the shorty that was involved in, unaliving of him. She's been on trial the whole week and they came to a guilty verdict. I don't know exactly what they charging her with. Trap Blood Ross, he putting out the video, he been dropping every, bit of what's going on here with her trial. So we finna get into the video, man. Let's see what they gave her. And yeah, I mean, everybody knew she was cooked, bro. So we don't know exactly what the charges is, but we finna get into them though.
In the Foolio murder trial, okay? And this is just the first person that is going down for this heinous crime.
Right.
And it's a manslaughter charge, okay? But they're saying the other guys, they might be way more cooked. But it seems like to some people,
manslaughter, if she got charged with manslaughter, if like any other state, that's what, about 10 to 15 years?
People, they're kind of thinking, hey, she might have come out with a W in this situation, okay? So look, the news has just dropped, all right? It is official, okay? It is now here on this video. It was broadcast in court exactly what went down the moment she was found guilty of manslaughter.
That is a W for real,
Okay, very good, Madam Clerk. Yes. Please publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 13th Judicial Circuit of the State of Florida, in and for Hillsborough County Criminal Justice Division, State of Florida versus Alicia Latoya Andrews, case.
Very good, Madam Clerk. Yes. Please publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 13th Judicial Circuit of the State of Florida, in and for Hillsborough County Criminal Justice Division, State of Florida versus Alicia Latoya Andrews, case number 24 CF 11996, Trial Division 1, verdict form. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1, the defendant is guilty of manslaughter, a lesser included offense. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 2, the defendant is not guilty. So say we all, dated this 31st day of October 2025, signed foreperson of the jury.
All right, thank you very much. Have a seat. Does that establish for me to poll the jury?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you.
So she was found guilty of manslaughter, not murder. I've got an article here. I'm going to read you a little bit more backstory just about how this actually went for her and why some people are saying this is actually a W. Foolio.
It is, in a sense, it is a W. Like, technically, like, because she didn't exactly pull the trigger. She didn't actually do it. But the fact that she was involved with it and she was out there, basically scouting, following them, that's why they kind of probably gave her, the manslaughter, But like I said, she ain't been sentenced yet, so she probably getting about what, like I said, any other state, I don't know exactly what Florida's is, but that's like the maximum probably 15 years. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they try to go throw the book at her for a little bit, give her more. But
murder, Tampa jury reaches verdict in the trial against Alicia Andrews. It says a Tampa jury has now reached the verdict in the trial. One of the 5 suspects charged, so there's still 4 more to come. In the murder of Foolio, she was found guilty of manslaughter instead of first-degree murder and not guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. That's a W if you ask me. Right. I'm actually thinking that's a W for her. So this article kind of recaps the trial. It says prosecutors laid out their case and said she helped track and stalk the rapper. However, Andrews took the stand Friday in her own defense and argued that she thought she was just going on a trip with her boyfriend, who she called controlling and abusive. The backstory is that Foolio was ambushed and killed at a Tampa hotel. He was celebrating his birthday, we know that. According to the investigators, Andrews and her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, drove from Jacksonville to Tampa with the 3 others who were allegedly targeting the rapper as part of an ongoing gang war. Authorities believe Andrews helped track and surveil the rapper as he moved between Tampa nightclubs because she wasn't part of her boyfriend's gang. Detectives say the others had her use her cell phone and car to try and help them avoid detection. The other side, but Andrews' attorneys recently sat down with Fox 13 to explain why she's innocent. Life Malcolm, one of her lawyers, said she had no idea the other suspects planned to target Foolio. They're saying just because she was around a group of guys who had bad stuff on their mind doesn't mean she had bad stuff on her mind or was even aware that they did. She was there for a trip with her boyfriend, that's it, and she found herself caught up in the mix of stuff she was unaware of completely. Okay, and they claimed her, Andrews had been forthcoming with the detectives from day one. They said that the detectives and the state tried to put her in a box and say she's the girlfriend of one of the individuals involved, and that she would do anything this guy tells her to do because she's so in love with him. But she did not go down for the murder or the conspiracy. That is actually a W considering the circumstances.
It really
What's
is,
next?
though.
Her co-defendants, Isaiah Chance, Sean Gathright, Davion Murphy, and Rashad Murphy will stand trial next year. She's expected to be sentenced on December the 8th. Got to remember that date, people. So with regards to the sentencing, this is already going around on Reddit. People are basically speculating that really she went from facing murder charges that carried life sentences without parole, okay, to now getting a pretty sweetheart outcome with a maximum of 15 years, okay, for being on a dumbass drill. Okay, 15 years in prison could be a $10,000 fine, could be 15 years of probation. I wonder how much mercy the judge will have on her. It really all depends. The jury have given their verdict, but now it's really up to the judge to decide just how cooked, like how long to leave her in the oven, basically, like how much you're going to cook her, and you can only really cook her up to 15. So it's actually, it wouldn't surprise. I mean, some people were saying on Reddit she might well be out already. People were saying she could be free right now, typing just like us. Ain't nothing to win in this. People saying the situation she was in and for the evidence, it is a win for her and she gets a second chance at life. She's not doing life without parole. She can get out of jail before she's 30 if the judge is nice enough. At least she's coming home. They're saying dudes are dying in there. It's a win. They're saying she better hope the judge doesn't mention how she was nonchalant and laughing and giggling and passing notes, etc. because she already called her lawyer out for no remorse. It can affect her sentencing. People saying, is that really a win? And people saying that's the maximum. She'll probably only get 4 or 5 years in prison. Saying, who getting 4 to 5 years for a second degree felony. The maximum for third degree is 5.
Right.
Someone said, I thought she was going to get freed. Now it's 4 or 5. I miss lol. They're saying that's still years of her child's life she's missing. If she was smarter, she wouldn't even be in this situation. That's true too, but I'm just thinking about her at first. Had no chance to taste free world, die in a cell. That's a little bit
the thing is, I'm thinking she probably would get the 15 is the max, bro. She probably, like I said, if the judge, like I said, depending on how much the judge really want to give her some, punishment, at the very least, she might do 10. 8, I'm gonna say 8 to 10. I don't know if they're gonna give her the good behavior and all that shit, but like she gonna do some time, but like how much is crazy. But now if they give her 15 years probation, that is crazy. But I don't know, man. Like I said, we just gotta see December the 8th, bro.
So a photo of Foolio's mom here. Basically, people are saying she doesn't look too happy. People are saying, I don't know why, because them other dudes about to get nailed when they go to trial. She's still going to get a 4 for 1. People are saying she lost her son violently just 1 year ago and has to relive that, not only at this trial, but she's going to do it again when the shooters go to trial. What is she supposed to be doing? Laughing out of her seat? But she was probably expecting a worse sentence, to be honest. She was probably expecting more for the woman. It says, I understand Foolio's her son, but listen to how he rapped and acted. She was acting like he was a good kid or something, and she's sad about this. Like the other ones ain't finna get life. People saying all 6 did, responded back. They went at them. It says facts. That's why I don't feel bad for her. I'll see if there was an innocent girl who got killed, but we're talking about Foolio. Right. But yeah, people are saying, she takes some accountability for her son's actions. At least she doesn't have to worry about getting shot no more. Her life was always in danger while Foolio was alive, but if they couldn't get him, they would try to get her. But now that they got him, she can live her life in peace. That's a very sad perspective, but it does make you think, man, because we've heard all of these beefs, all of these videos that we've covered, these gang street drill situations, people's houses get shot up, kids and women in the houses. It's super not cool, man. So, we don't want to see that anybody's family getting affected by this stuff. So people are saying that Alicia Andrews' lawyer is actually a clout chaser. He was already on IG posting before the verdict. All right? I don't know the exact implications, but people are saying he's a clout chaser. They're saying this dude can't be serious. This is some Gen Z lawyer. People are saying everybody on her side was unserious as F. That's why she's in court acting the way she's acting. People are saying the lawyer was using this trial as promo. Instead, nobody going to hire him after this. Nobody. People are saying this dude has to be an unknown 6 Block member. Saying he's thrown a trial. And he's atting himself, calling himself the GOAT. Oh, she's cooked. Clearly, he hasn't been on Reddit because we think otherwise. People are saying it was a...
Bro, if you was the GOAT, bro, she would have got off. She wouldn't even got manslaughter, bro. Like, the fact that she, like, don't get me wrong, manslaughter, you still going to jail regardless, but that is a W. But, like, bro, if you was really the GOAT, Shorty wouldn't even got implicated. She would have got off scot-free, walked away. but she still got charged with manslaughter though. Like I can, like I said, dude was kind of unserious. Like I said, I thought she was cooked just because of that, but and the fact that they had her face on everything. Like I said, she didn't directly do it, but the fact that she was there setting up all the stuff, like you can't tell me she didn't know what she was doing, bro. Like all that she didn't know what she was doing, and like miss me with that bullshit. But
repost of someone else's post calling him the GOAT, but still not really the timing. People saying the GOAT, LMAO, more like the jackass. Overly cooked. They're saying Drewski wasn't telling no lies. Definitely, this is definitely Drewski's funded lawyer. Drewski sent this lawyer. Just like Thug. Sent Brian Steelman, Drewski sent this fool down there. But it says, yeah, anyway, all right. It says, I've watched many trials and her case was beatable, but her defense team was really one of the worst that I've ever seen. It says, I would have to agree with you. I 100% think she's guilty and should be charged as such. But if she had a good defense team and didn't testify, she might have had a shot at getting off on one of lesser counts. But people saying there's no lesser counts available. Either she goes down for murder or conspiracy, which still holds a lot of time. Okay. People were basically saying after this was just before the verdict, okay, people were clowning the lawyer saying he was a clout chaser, but afterwards, people are saying, okay, you've been clowning that girl and her lawyers for nothing, saying she was cooked and getting the max, only to be found guilty of lesser charges, all right? And people saying, not gonna lie, I actually started to feel bad for her. Not me, but people on Reddit. Not me. She for real seems a little slow. And it's not like she was really trying to get Foolio gone. She really just is a cover up. I mean, she did say she wanted Foolio to not be alive anymore, right? So we're just going to ignore that. It says manslaughter is still a little time. Better than a life sentence. With manslaughter, you know you're coming home. It says she's about to do a decade. That's too long, no little time.
You feel me? That's still too long.
It doesn't give me any joy to see people throwing their lives away over these drill beefs. You know, I feel like it's just so sad that Foolio passed away. I wouldn't say some of the things that we just read in those comments, but to keep it real, I get where it comes from. Foolio is a very, very disrespectful rapper. Right. And, so, I mean, you know, in some ways, you know, he wasn't really going to have much longevity in this thing, unfortunately. And it's sad to see because he did have a lot of talent, but a lot of that talent was directed towards very negative stuff. Nobody deserves to go out like that. But I do feel like it's just this endless cycle, and he was a big part of it. You know, sometimes I hear people using the phrase "stir the pot." People want to say certain people stir the pot, but going to the gravesite and filming the music video with a printed out large
that was disrespectful as hell. Like I said, don't get me wrong, Julio. He, like I said, yeah, but you can't be too sad because, like, bro, he was part of the problem, bro. Like I said, he went to the graveyard and had printouts of all his dead ops. Like, it just like, I don't know. Like I said, it's just bad. That's why it's just the street shit is just like it ain't it, bro.
Like you went to a print store to get a printed out giant poster of all the guys that got killed on the other side.
Right.
I don't know if that's stirring the pot. Like that's, I don't know. You just whip the pot all the way across the other side of the room with that one. So I really, you know, I just really think I just wish things could have been differently, man, and that Foolio was still here. I think that the other people in this case are definitely facing a tough trial. I think the word cooked definitely is going to be getting used as that trial progresses. And I'll keep you guys updated, man. But that's the latest. You know, Alicia Andrews been found guilty of manslaughter. And so we'll wait for that sentencing. I think it was December the 8th. So I'll see you there.
Yeah, I like to say, yeah, bro. It's the life, bro. It's street life, bro. It's a never-ending cycle. Like, Foolio knew what was going on. Like I said, yeah, is it sad? Yeah, a life was took, but like he was living that life, bro. But you know, she got off a little bit. You know, manslaughter, like I said, that's still too long for me. I ain't that 10 to 15 too long, bro. That's like a decade in your life. You know how much shit changed in 5 years, bro? And you about to be sitting in behind bars for that long? So I mean, I guess shout out to her, man. You feel me? Like I said, we like December the 8th, like he said, she began her sentence, and so I'm sure they don't go to trial the next year. So this is probably the end of what this little Foolio sting for the year. So we catch you on the next one, man. We out.